Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. Just a prophecy watch as we see this world, this age is spiraling out of control. Wars, rumors of wars, pestilences. All right, and as Habakkuk states in the second chapter, at the end, these things will speak, and they're right before our eyes. And you have many, many people who say they believe in the scriptures, all right, who don't have the proper leadership, all right, to give them the vision, all right, to be rooted in these crazy times as things, all right, are going absolutely left. So I have this article here off of Natural News, all right, and it says psychopathic behavior is on the rise as society descends into free fall collapse. Okay, the United States has entered, all right, what one media source describes as the middle stages of a full-scale economic collapse. All right, and when you read Isaiah the 19th chapter, economic collapse is foretold. All right, when you read 2nd Esdras 15, 16, all right, and all of these chapters that we constantly go into, economic collapse is foretold. The book of Revelation, talks about, a system being set up to oppress people, where there will be food shortages. We can go to Luke, and it talks about, perplexity, all right, where people will be short on resources, all right, and we're in that time. We're living in these times in our day, all right here, okay, as evidenced by the increasing prevalence of psychopathic behavior in public, all right, and people are driving crazy, people are aggressive, people are bugged out, people are on all kind of psych medications, all right, which when you go into psych medications, okay, I just typed this up here, this is just a roundabout, but how many people die each year from psych medications? And it says psychiatric drugs are responsible for the deaths of more than 500,000 people. But for some reason, this isn't a pandemic. Aged 65 and older each year in the Western world. Okay, and even young children, all right, are being prescribed these psych meds. Okay, which is leading to people losing their mind. Okay, people have all kind of mental illness. All right, it says 8 million deaths worldwide, all right, from mental illness, man. And what exactly is leading to that? Okay, it's the chemicals in the air, the food, the water, okay, and ultimately a wicked government, all right, set in place. Okay, so psych drugs, all right, as we can get the book of Revelation real quick. Psych meds, which when you go to Revelation, the 18th chapter, as it, breakdowns the charges that are being brought on Babylon. Okay, Revelation 18 and 23, and the light of a candle shall no more shine at all in thee, as the scriptures say, the light of the wicked is going to be put out. Okay, it says, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride, as people are eating and drinking and being merry, shall no more be heard at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. All right, many of these nations get rich off of Babylon and great. For by thy sorceries were all the nations deceived. All right, and we know for sure. All right, and this shows you the importance of a system. All right, that leans upon Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, because the scriptures talks about medicines being created out of the earth. And what this devil has done, all right, the Rockefeller family, we know that they, passed laws and legislation, all right, to make standard medicines petroleum based, all right, which leads to what? Toxins in the body, the brain, all right, which breaks down the people. It weakens the immune system. It drives people crazy. I mean, you look at all of these psychos walking around, okay, it has a lot to do, all right, with the pharmakia, the sorceries, all right, that pretty much run, how people take care of themselves. So it says pharmakia for the word sorcery, okay? The use of administering drugs, okay? And they pass out these psych meds like hotcakes, man, okay? Poisoning, all right? Your child, you have these, fatherless homes, and then you have the child, he'll have some sort of issue because our children don't mesh with the system that this devil has in place as far as education. Again, we know the word to educate means to draw out what is already in you. Okay, and they have this wicked system of education set up and doesn't draw anything out of our children. So they act out, or they have problems at home, or they have a horrible diet. Okay, and then the teacher tells the parent, the mother or whoever, even if the father's around, they don't have any knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, and then they go, well, he won't sit down. He's constantly, acting out. He's doing this or she's doing this, and what do? They take him to the doctor, all right, and they pull out this book with all of these, ailments that they've made up, and they have a medication assigned to that ailment that they'll just give the child, all right, and the child waxes worse and worse and worse when all you would have to do is change their diet, change the environment, change the music that they listen to, change the programming and what they're watching, right? But that's too much like right. They just get them on these psych meds and they go down the rabbit hole of wickedness, man. And by the time, all right, they're 13 years old, 14, they're bugged out. Okay? They give these psych meds to, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. All right? Hell, you got 2-year-olds with depression. So we're living a bunch of, in the midst of a bunch of psychos, man. Okay? Poisoning, right? That's what it does. It poisons the people. Sorcery, magical arts often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it, metaphorically, of the deceptions and seductions of idolatry. All right? Pharmakios, all right? One who prepares or uses magical remedies, a sorcerer. All right, and when you go to the serpent in the garden, all right, when you look up the word serpent, it's nachash, but when you get to the root word, it's a sorcerer. All right, and what is a sorcerer? All right, one who, a witch. All right, it's simply put, all right, a person who practices witchcraft. And that's, all right, the people who run this whole setup, Babylon the Great, that's what they're into. Okay? It says over the past 10 years, there has been a dramatic uptick, especially in the last 3 years, right? I wonder why in the last 3 years. What happened in 2020 that could possibly lead to people losing their minds? What's inside of them? It says over the past 10 years, there has been a dramatic uptick in massive violence and theft across the country. All right? All right, the advent of social media is fueling these types of incidents. Social media, again, the foods, what's in the foods, what's in the water, what's in the air, what's in the music, okay, which can now be organized quickly and efficiently, all right, online with large numbers of people. Riots, looting, uncivil behavior are becoming the hallmark, all right, of the new America, which is all what prophecy said it would be. Things would spiral out of control. The Lord would mingle a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt, which would cause Egypt to err. Okay? Which is basically a third world country where gaps between the haves and the have-nots are growing exponentially. Okay? The middle class is done away with, due in part to inflation and other forms of financial terrorism. All right. Which again, let's get the book of Luke real quick. All right. The book of Luke, the 21st chapter. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I just wanted to hit this real quick. I saw this article the other day from the Houston brothers, and I just wanted to touch on it. This is Luke 21 and 24, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon, and this is all associated with the time of the Gentiles being ended, the final rulership of the heathen nations, man, in which we now see the importance of ruling with the law, statutes, and commandments as opposed to ruling by the means of a witch. That's why the scriptures say that old serpent called the devil and Satan, he's the one who's ruling right now. And we're living at the end of his rule. All right, but it's associated with the stress of the nations, signs in the sun and in the moon, an eclipse is coming. All right, the stress of the nations with perplexity. All right, the sea and the waves roaring. All right, strange weather patterns, all kind of natural disasters, perplexity. Men's heart failing them, all right, which is your mind. Men's hearts failing them, okay, which is the word is apopsuko. Now you see suko is psychos, all right, to breathe out, to faint or swoon away. Okay. All right. Separation from sanity. All right. Separation from love. Psycho. We see that word psycho right there. Psycho. Okay. A separation, all right, from a sane mind because of the things that are taking place on the planet Earth. And a lot of these so-called Christians, I was just having a random conversation with someone, and he was like, man, people who ain't rooted, and this is not even a true believer, but even he knew, looking out into this world, that people who go to these churches, they're not going to have any answers because their preachers and they so-called prophets have not warned them of these things, man. They have not rooted them in faith. So men's hearts are going to be failing them for fear and for looking after those things, all right, which are coming upon the earth, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then it's going to lead to Yahweh Shai coming, all right, and destroying this place, man. All right. So due to, and that word perplexity means to lack resources, to not know what to do. Okay. To be in a state of absolute confusion. All right. To be confounded. These are the times that are coming, especially upon you women. All right, you proud ass women, especially here, the Western woman here in America. All right, the chickens are coming home to roots. All right, because at least a man is a man. He's able to fend for himself. But you pretty much warded off all of your allies, and you think the serpent is gonna have your back in these times? Hell no. So you're gonna be left to fend for yourself. Okay. So there's going to be all kind of dysfunction going on, as such as disfranchised people are organizing with one another online to stage demonstrations and protests. In some cases, they're going to turn violent. All right. Psychopathic agitators, often from 3-letter agencies in D.C., will infiltrate protests, and that's what's going to happen. All right. Because they know people are mad. All right, even certain Israelite camps are going to be infiltrated, already are infiltrated. And there's people who you think are normal brothers who are amongst you who are actually agents who are going to set things off for the purpose of accusing. This is how the left hand works. All right, so we're seeing psychopaths. All right, psychopaths. It says right here, in other cases, we are seeing actual psychopaths who simply want to commit violence or exploiting the chaos of all the political yada, 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 man. All right. The worst psychopaths are the ones who run this whole setup. Okay. So we're seeing an uptick and psychopathic behavior. Let's look up this word psychopathic. Okay, affected by constituting a chronic mental disorder with an extreme or violent social behavior. All right, and we're seeing people lose their damn minds. Okay, let's get the book of Matthew, okay, 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, sin. Iniquity is sin. And then you got particular people talking about keeping the laws to the best of your ability as an asinine statement. So how in the hell are we going to separate ourselves from the wicked behavior of these people? All right, of course, through faith, but through faith in what? Yahweh Shai, which showed us the way to walk. Okay? Knowing we can't take matters in our own hands. Knowing the Lord is going to send his only begotten son. Faith leads to works. Righteous works separate you from the behavior patterns that run this world. Okay? And the Heavenly Father is going to destroy this place, man. It says, the love of many, because of iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. And it's the same word when you look it up here, psycho. All right? The love of many, the agape of many, what is love? Affection, goodwill, brotherly love, love feast. You people arguing, meet up to, have a good time, then start arguing, fighting. People are losing their damn mind. There's no affection. There's no natural affection, all right, towards your neighbor here in Babylon the Great. And all around the world, these behavior patterns are starting to pick up. So the love of many is going to wax cold. Okay? Psycho. Waning of love, which is the keeping of the commandments, man. Which is the importance, all right, of the law, statutes, and commandments being established. Because once it's established, it's going to be for the healing of the nations. All right? And it's going to be administered by a particular priesthood after the order of Melchizedek, man. All right? And another thing that I was looking up, because these people are gone, man. The Apostle Ricard was just talking about how bugged out people are. How weird people are. Well, right here, nearly a third of Generation Z Americans are alphabet. See? So imagine the generation that will come from this generation if we were to continue here, man. Esau would snatch our children up. We would be through. They would be swept, all right, along the flood of lies and wickedness and iniquity that's being spread here, man. And children are a prey here in this society. Okay? Salakia. So nearly a third of Generation Z Americans are alphabet. More than 1 in 4, 28%, and it's only going to go on a rise, of Americans between ages 18 and 25, known as Generation Z, identified as alphabet in a survey published earlier this week. This figure was the largest percentage recorded for any generation by the pollster, which conducted its research during August and September on a sample, all right, of 6,600 people, man. All right, which, the very interesting number, right? Which that number represents, the flesh, the beastly aspect of man, which is all fulfilled in Esau's rulership. His rulership has brought out the worst in individuals. It preys on the lust, all right, and turning your psyche, your mind away from the Lord. You see? And look at the end result. Look at the end result. All right? Where in the hell, what can you do with a situation like this where people are psycho? All right? And this is a part of mental illness. This alphabet thing, this is a direct result of mental illness. Okay? Nearly half of the non-heterosexual Gen Zers said they are bi, amounting to 50% of all Gen Z adults, all right, GAYs and lesbos were outnumbered. So it's just people just confused all over the place. All right. Among millennials, 16% said there was some form of alphabet. All right, which this all fulfills. All right, this fulfills prophecy. Okay, and you can keep reading it, but this shows you the sick environment that we're in the need of a savior. Okay? This fulfills, let's get the book of Luke 17. All right? Luke, the 17th chapter. And 26. As it was in the days of Noah. All right? So shall it also be in the days of the Son of Man. All right? So where are those giants at? The giant ones, the giants are the Nephilim, the fallen ones, man, which is the sons and daughters of God doing complete evil. And that's what we see. Jake is leading the charge in wickedness. Jake is used to promote evil and wickedness. Okay? Because Jake has a particular flavor. So Jake is the mascot of sin. All right? But the man of sin is the one who's really the root of all of the problem, man. Esau. Okay? They did eat, they drank, they married, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark and the flood came and destroyed them all. Idol worship was a big thing going on back then. Rebellion against the natural way. Okay? Disorder in marriage. All of those things was going on in the days of Noah. He witnessed it. All right? And we hope to be in a lot of Noah, which amongst this generation, we want to be as he was seen amongst his generation, amongst his family. All right? Which, you know, he was a descendant, you know, of, you know, Adam through Seth. When you go through the genealogy all the way up to Enoch, you know, had Methuselah, and then, you know, because Noah's grandfather was Methuselah, who died in the year of the flood. His father, Noah's father, died, you know, sometime before the flood. But Noah and that generation was the final of the righteous, which he was the only one alive to survive the flood. The Lord, you know, pretty much took all of the righteous back to the spirit world, as it says in Isaiah. And then it was nothing but the wicked of our people amongst him. And we hope to be in his stead, the only ones that are righteous left in this generation. Because look how bad it is. Likewise, also in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they sold, they bought. All right. They planted and they built it. Now, who's Lot? Who was ruling while he was on the scene? That's where you get Sodom and Gomorrah, man. Which it was 3 other cities, but you had Sodom and Gomorrah, which is synonymous with what? All right, lewd, wicked, alphabet behavior. Okay? So the same thing that was going on in the days of Lot is going on right here. But in the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Okay? Yes, it will be business as usual, all right? Just like people thought it was in the days of Lot, right up to the day when the Son of Man is revealed. So people are going to be doing all kind of wickedness, man. We're going to be in a situation that's similar. That's why it's called a spiritual Sodom and Egypt. All right? So, Lord willing, this was edifying. We about to get the hell up out of here, man. Shalom.